Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law. And today I wanted to talk to you about how often that you should review your estate plan. Now, how frequently you should review your estate plan really depends on how old you are and whether there have been any significant changes in your circumstances. And if you're over the age of 60 and you haven't updated your estate plan in many decades, it's almost certain that you need to update your documents. And after that, you should review your plan every few years or so. But if you're younger, you don't need to do so nearly as often. So let's talk about what you need and at what ages you need these things at. Now, between the ages of 18 and 30, everyone needs a durable power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, a HIPAA release, so that they can have people that they choose step in and make decisions for them in the event of an incapacity. So let's talk about if you're between the ages of 30 and 40. Once you begin accumulating assets, get married, and have children, it's important to create an estate plan to care for your loved ones in the event of your death. It also can't hurt to update your durable power of attorney, your healthcare power of attorney, and your HIPAA release. Since the people you may have appointed when you were 18 or 21, and perhaps that was just your parents, they may not be the people that you want to take on these roles now that you're in your mid 30s. So, unless there's been a change in your circumstances, and assuming you've set a good plan in place during your 30s, you probably don't need to review your estate plan during your 40s and maybe even your 50s. But once you've hit your 60s, it's time to take a look. Your children are probably grown, you may have grandchildren, and hopefully you've accumulated some wealth. The people you've appointed to step in the event of an incapacity when you were 35 may not be in a position to assist you now that you're 65. You may have retired or you're contemplating doing so, and unfortunately, the chances of disability or death increase every year. And now that you've reached your 70s, it's time to review your plan every few years or so. Changes happen to your health and to those that you loved. There's changes in your loved ones' lives, your lives, tax laws, and to the program supporting long term care or disability care. It's important to have a plan in place and to adjust it as circumstances change. Now, there's also specific life events that will warrant you reviewing and most likely updating your estate plan, no matter what age you are. And first is marriage. In the event that you get married, you'll likely want your assets to go to your spouse and to name him or her to be your agent in the event of an incapacity. Likewise, if you get a divorce, you probably won't want your assets to go to your ex spouse or to rely upon him or her to step in if you were to become incapacitated. And once you have children, you'll want to provide for them and to name someone to step in as a guardian in the event of a death or an incapacity and that of their other parent, if any. Generally, once you have a plan in place, you do not have to update it if you have more children. Most plans are already prepared to cover this. Now, if you or someone who would inherit from you becomes disabled, you'll need a plan in place to protect and manage your assets, whether it's for yourself or if it's for one of your beneficiaries. Now, if you accumulate sufficient assets to exceed the threshold for state or federal estate laws, now the federal exemption is at 11.4 million right now, but Massachusetts only has $1 million threshold. So if your assets start to reach or surpass this, and in New Hampshire there is no threshold, you may want to plan or reduce to eliminate such taxes. Now, if you move to a new state or country, it'll be important to have your estate plan reviewed to make sure that it works in the new jurisdiction that you're now living in. In short, until you reach ages 60 or 70, reviewing your estate plan every few years is probably perfect. But to do so whenever you have a change in circumstances, as those listed above or that I just mentioned, is imperative. So marriage or divorce or grandchildren, those definitely are going to require you to review or even update your estate plan. And if you're over the age of 60 and you haven't updated your estate plan in many years, now is probably a good time to do so. And then once you have it updated, then you can have a review every few years, just as a general rule of thumb to make sure that your plan still works the way that you want it to, especially as we get older and the risk of passing away or becoming incapacitated starts to increase. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it beneficial to learn a little bit more about when and how often you should review your estate plan. I'm Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law. And if you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website at www.kelly, Kelly, longtinlaw.com. And you can email us with any questions that you have as well. Thank you.